You know what? My daughter and I were planning a trip to Hawaii. And I was wondering if you'd like to join us, Karen. That's great. Let's have a fun trip together, the three of us. My mother-in-law and sister-in-law started talking about their overseas trip thoughtlessly. My anger reached its peak. You must be kidding me. Karen? Planning a trip to Hawaii? If you have money to go to Hawaii, please pay off your debt as soon as possible. My name is Karen. I'm a 28-year-old office worker. I got married to my husband John 3 years ago. Married life with my caring and considerable husband has been very enjoyable, and 3 years have passed in the blink of an eye. Karen, welcome back. Today we're having fried chicken, and the beer is in the fridge. Yay! My husband takes the initiative in doing the housework because we both work, and I think he's a really good husband. I was sure that we would continue to have happy days together. But the situation started to change when my husband asked me for advice. I'm thinking of sending some money home to my mom. Well, why? Your mother has your sister. Besides, there's also the inheritance money. My father-in-law just passed away recently. But he had held a high position at a big company, so I'm sure he had a lot of money from his retirement. And I'm sure there was a substantial inheritance. And my sister-in-law is still single and works for a major company. I don't think they have a hard time making ends meet. Actually, she's in a lot of debt. What do you mean? She co-signed for a good friend of hers. She doesn't want my sister, who lives with her, to worry, so she doesn't tell her about the debt. So we're the only ones she can rely on. But what about the inheritance? Your father's inheritance? She used it to pay for the hospital bills, medical bills, funeral expenses, and to pay off her debts. But it wasn't enough. She owes that much money. I think that's why she's so anxious every day. We don't have that much money either. We both work for small companies. I know, but we can try to save money. I'm baffled by the whole situation. Unexpected difficulties have come to my happy marriage all of a sudden. I was so distressed. I don't want my life to suddenly become difficult, but my mother-in-law was a very kind person to me. Because she's a good-natured person and has a very good character, I guess that's why she trusted her friend and became a co-signer. My mother-in-law took good care of me after we got married, and I feel bad to abandon her in this situation. After much consideration, I decided to send money to my mother-in-law. Since then, I started to save money every day. I was careful about spending on food and refrained from my hobbies. On weekends, I used to go on day trips with my husband, but we don't do that anymore. I also don't go out with friends. I used to love having drinks, but now I don't even attend those events. The people at work were worried about what was going on with me. But I couldn't say that it was because of the death of my family. So I told them that I had a liver problem and was told by my doctor to cut back on drinking. We were supposed to send her $2,000 a month. My husband and I would each contribute $1,000 from our own salaries. On top of that, we have to pay rent, utilities, etc., so it's really hard. It was getting more and more stressful. Then one day, I clashed with my husband. I'm home. Huh? Welcome home. What's with your hair? Did you go to the hairdresser by any chance? Yeah, I hadn't been for a while. What? Are you kidding? I told you to save your money. Nobody gives a shit about your hair. And you're married. Don't try to feel sexy in some weird way. How dare you say things like that? It's part of the social etiquette to be well-groomed as a member of society. And I'm not trying to be sexy. Don't talk to me as if no one sees me as a woman. Oh, you're married but you want to be seen as a woman? Are you having an affair? What are you talking about? Don't make accusations like that. This is suspicious. You're actually making more money, but you're lying and using the extra money to have fun with other guys. That's horrible to say. I work so hard to save money. I pulled a pay stub out of the drawer and showed it to my husband. You see, I took out the money to send to your mom from this paycheck and managed to pay for the hair salon on top of that. I don't deserve to have you accuse me of something you don't understand. I understand. I'm sorry. I pleaded my case tearfully, and my husband seemed to trust me. But it was the first time we'd ever bumped into each other like this, and it really took me by surprise. We had never fought at all, and I realized that our bond as a couple was so fragile that we could have broken up after just one fight. The main reason for this was the pressure on our finances from the money we were sending. So I came up with a decision that I would go directly to my mother-in-law and speak to her about reducing the amount of money we sent to her. If I told my husband in advance, I'm sure he would object that he couldn't do such a thing. So I'm not going to tell my husband, and I'm going to go talk to her alone. If this turns out badly, my mother-in-law will hate me and my husband will lose trust in me for acting on my own. But in order to protect our life as a married couple, I have no choice but to act. If my mother-in-law understands, I'm sure my husband will too. I called my mother-in-law in advance and went to her house after work. Karen, it's been a while. Come in. I'm sorry to bother you. Karen, how have you been? It's been a while, Jane. Well, I'm doing quite okay. I heard you were coming over today, so I went to the department store and bought a cake. What? I'll make some tea, so let's eat. You're the one who is receiving money from us, and you bought a cake from a department store? We don't even get to buy cakes usually. My mother-in-law, oblivious to my feelings, was in a happy mood while making tea. Seeing my mother-in-law like that made me angry. Then, my mother-in-law put the cake in front of me and said something outrageous. My daughter and I were planning a trip to Hawaii just now. Oh yeah, Karen, would you like to join us? That sounds great. Let's have a fun trip with just the three of us. John will have to house sit. No problem. He doesn't like hot weather. My mother-in-law and sister-in-law started to talk about their overseas trip. My anger was at its peak. You must be kidding me. Karen? Planning a trip to Hawaii? What's wrong? What do you think John and I put up with every day? Putting up with what? What on earth are you talking about? If you have money to go to Hawaii, please pay off your debt as soon as possible. Which debt? I go through a hard time every day to send you the money. Send me the money? The other day, I went to the hairdresser for the first time in a while with the little money I had left over. Because of that, John and I got into a fight. I couldn't help but start crying. My mother-in-law and sister-in-law seemed to be confused. I don't understand what you're talking about. What do you mean by debt? John told me that you owe a lot of money and said that we should send you money. So we each paid $1,000 out of our monthly salary. What's that? Suddenly my mother-in-law raised her voice. I didn't hear anything about that. What? I mean, I don't have any debt. If I did, there's no way I could go to Hawaii. Well, then, I suddenly realized. Both my sister-in-law and mother-in-law seemed to have figured it out and had a scary look on their faces. What the hell is he doing? I was about to call my husband right now, but my sister-in-law stopped me. I need to find out why he lied to you to get you to pay. Why don't you stop sending money for the time being? Okay, I'll do that. I carried out my sister-in-law's plan. Then my husband said, Why don't you send the money? My mom is in trouble. So I said, I don't have any money on hand, so I'll go and give it to your mother in person later. Then my husband started to panic and said, No, that's okay. I'll go give it to her. And didn't ask me any more about it. My sister-in-law suggested that I also request a professional to investigate the matter. Then I found out that my husband had been having an affair for about a year. This time of last year was around the time my father-in-law passed away. My sister-in-law and mother-in-law were furious when they found out. We called my husband to my mother-in-law's house. Hey, why is Karen here too? You said you had something to do with me today, Mom. I have asked her to be here because it concerns her too. What are you doing cheating on Karen and giving her trouble? There's no point in playing dumb anymore. I put the photographic evidence on the table. My husband's face turned pale. This is... It looks like you lied that I have a debt and took money from Karen. You used that money to pay off your lover, didn't you? No, that's not true. And you get mad when I went to the hair salon while you were having fun with another woman. That's disgusting. I'm sorry, it was just a flash of the devil. Don't think you can get away with that when you had an affair for a year. I'll make sure you pay back every penny I gave you. And I will demand a divorce as well as alimony. Oh no! It's only natural that you pay for your sins. And you're no longer my son. We're cutting you off. Don't you ever show that face again. We were so furious and angry that my husband ran away in fear. After that, my sister-in-law introduced me to a very good lawyer, and we were able to get a divorce smoothly. My ex-husband and the affair partner each paid me a considerable amount of alimony. Of course, the money I sent home was also added to the alimony. My ex-husband was left penniless at once. At his company, he was given a pay cut because of this incident and was transferred to another department. And I heard that he was dumped by his lover as she wasn't interested in a man with no money. He really deserves it. I, on the other hand, got paid what he owed me, which made things a whole lot easier financially. And I've been able to save a tremendous amount of money every month lately, probably because I've gotten into the habit of saving. I still keep in touch with my mother-in-law and sister-in-law, and we're planning a trip to Hawaii once again. He's such a lousy husband, cheating his family and his wife to get money for his infidelity. I think he deserves even worse. By the way, his mom and sister are so cool. I wonder why the husband became such a scumbag when he has such a cool mother and sister. At any rate, I'm glad you were able to get the money back. I hope you enjoy your trip to Hawaii. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to our channel if you like. See you next time!